let's take a look at Legacy United Windblade. So this figure here, Windblade is a fan-made character apparently. They have like some sort of a poll where you would choose different aspects of a character and they'd pieced it all together. And we ended up with Windblade here, which pretty awesome character. I really like the design. Definitely the geisha look is pretty cool. I will say I hate these boxes, even though it displays a good portion of the figure. So many of the figures I come across have been like manipulated with because there's nothing blocking people from just like taking heads off or taking parts. Sometimes even they'll have like a weapon down in the corner and that'll be taken out. For her, I think it's stored at the bottom, so we're good here. But anyway, the side of the box, we get a nice look at Windblade there. Pretty neat design. She's got this like separate piece for the jaw there, which doesn't look like is going to translate all that great for the figure. But let's look at the back here. Where we get a nice figure transformation. It's just a decent box. Nothing too crazy going on here. So let's crack her open real quick. Now for your shackles, check this out. This is a really cool figure. Pretty decent articulation, lacking in maybe a few areas, but overall detail is really nice. The coloring, this dark red with these tiny little blue, baby blue highlights all over, really pops. That geisha makeup, dude, that looks on point. The only problem I have with the head sculpt is that little frowny face, which I don't know what you could do. Maybe a little bit of thin black lining around it to make it look more like a separate piece. Otherwise, it looks like she's just kind of frowning. But from a little more of a distance, she does have a kind of a petite, like, decent face sculpt, which I think works overall. And then I really dig this crown she's got going on here. And then this piece here works as both, I guess this is like a fan accessory. You could call it a weapon or something. But then it also pops onto the back of her head to be part of the crown. Or, I guess, needles that they put in their hair. I don't know. I'm not huge on Japanese culture, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And dude, this sword, this flame sword going on here, this is actually probably one of the coolest accessories I've come across. Let's get a close look here. So we've got this beautiful purple see-through material with a nice black handle. Looks like there's like a rotor from the plane mode that she is. Just really dig that look, dude. One of the cooler swords I've come across for sure. And then when it comes to that articulation we were talking about, the head, very decently mobile. I dig that. She can see, like, as a flying character, you can kind of get that Superman pose going on there. That's good. But then when it comes to the shoulders, she's limited upward, and then the elbows, you only get, like, just below a 90-degree angle. Wrist doesn't have anything special, just the 360 swivel. And then I think everywhere else is pretty decent. Like, there's no great kicking power going on here. We got pretty... You can't call it a double jointed knee, really. This slides back if you de-transform it. And then at the ankles, we do get a really good pivot, which is cool if you're doing, like, some crazy action poses. And you get a very wide stance going on there. That's always pretty fun. So that is pretty decent. It's just those arms are pretty limited considering it's one of these new Legacy figures, which normally have an upped articulation going on for them. But the female figures rarely ever have very decent figures in general, so I can't really argue too much, because this one, I don't know, it covers all the bases, basically what I'd want from a Windblade figure. Backpack 2 is not so bad. Like, it's not just a whole shell that you toss over her completely. I think that's more or less what it is, but it hides fairly well. It's not too bulky, not too in the way, not too hefty. Just, overall, I would say this is a good figure, at least a good robot mode. Let's transform her real quick and see what that looks like. Let's go. And finally, we have her transformed, and it's not terrible. I really dig this jet mode. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is based on anything real life. I don't really do realistic vehicles or anything, but I really dig the look. So it's got here these little rotating blades that spin around here. So that's pretty neat. And then I guess that would be for vertical takeoff and landing. We got this cool tail fin going on. It's unfortunate, though, you see a lot of the bot underneath. I'm not sure if I just forgot to do something here or if that's just literally how it's supposed to be. It's really weird, too, how literally she just holds onto these little poles here, and that's what attaches her arms. It's not like a peg or anything. It's literally just she grabs here. So her hands are exposed at all times. From underneath, terrible. From up top, really cool. We even have a little cockpit going on here. And if you look closely, you can see 2 little seats in there. I think that's pretty sweet. Unfortunately, you do have to take off her accessories, like her little headpiece here. So that could get lost very easily, in my opinion. And I'm not sure if there's somewhere you can stick it here. I'm sure someone will yell at me in the comments saying, obviously it goes right here. But I don't see it right off the top. And then as for this part, I assume this goes somewhere because it looks like it's part of the vehicle. But I don't see where it could go, to be honest. And even checking the box, I'm not sure if... I don't think it's supposed to incorporate anywhere here from what I can tell. But just, stick it somewhere. Set aside. It's all good. I don't really display my figures in vehicle mode so much anyway, so that's not a huge problem for me. Probably will be for someone. But fairly decent. I do like that the landing gear here pulls out, and then we can just drop it and set her down. So that's pretty cool. Overall, I would say it's a really cool figure. The sword, the robo mode, that sold me. This part, it's iffy. Tell me what you guys think. See you guys in the next one. For size comparison, here she is next to Earthrise Optimus. Here's Buzzworthy Bumblebee. Studio Series Ratchet. And here's Sexy Shockwave.